Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dr. Shweta Wazir. I'm a senior consultant at Motherhood Hospital, Gurgaon.
So for today, the topic is going to be importance of menstrual cycle for girls and women. So please मैम हमारी audience को बताइए कि एक normal menstrual cycle क्या होती है?
Menstruation is a physiological process that happens in every woman's life, right from puberty till menopause. Why it happens is it's basically a preparation of the uterus every month to sustain a pregnancy. So if the uterus gets a pregnancy, it carries on with it. If it does not, it starts shedding the lining of the uterus. What we say, the uterus starts weeping. So it is a process which is essential in a woman's life, but it is to be considered as something which is normally happening and should not be taken as a stigma of the society.
So मैम जैसे आपने मुझे बताया, according to that, what do you consider as a normal and healthy menstrual cycle?
Okay, so cycle length is counted right from the first day of the last menstrual period to the first day of the present menstrual period. Okay, so when we talk about the cycle length, a cycle length may vary anywhere between 21 to 35 days. But suppose a woman has a cycle, say this month 21 days, the next month 34, 35 days, then again coming back to 19, 20 days, then probably we need to look at it that is it going the normal way or not. That a woman who has got a regular cycle every month happening 21, 22 days or every month happening 32, 33, 34 days, we are absolutely okay with it. Next, what we consider as normal is how many days you are bleeding. Okay, so somewhere between 5 to 7 days would be considered normal, but again it depends. If a woman has been bleeding for say regularly for 3-4 days and suddenly she has a lot of flow that's happening for 7, 8, 9 days, then definitely you need to get in touch with your doctor.
So according to this, what are the things and what are the causes of poor menstrual health?
Okay, now see, when we consider poor menstrual health, we need to first understand what do you mean by a poor menstrual health. A poor menstrual health means what? Either you're bleeding very heavily, or you're bleeding less, or maybe you are not bleeding at all. Okay, so there are different terminologies to that. Now when you have a heavy flow or you have a lesser flow, the first thing that we need to look at is how is your lifestyle. How do you carry yourself in your day-to-day life? What is your weight? I mean, are you on the higher BMI? What is your sleeping habits? Are you having regular sleeping habits or you work very late night, get up early in the morning? I mean, your sleeping hours are definitely less than 5 to 6 hours in a day. So this is what we need to look at when we look at the causes. Now, at times there could be certain pathological causes behind a poor menstrual health. Say for example, you may develop some ovarian cyst, you may develop some fibroids, these are growths inside the uterus, or you may have simple environmental factors like your thyroid hormone may be problematic, you may be anemic, your hemoglobin may not be that good, and you may be having a poor nutrition, your proteins, your hemoglobin, your iron content may be less in your diet. So that could be reasons for which you are not menstruating properly. So there are a list of causes for that. What needs to be done is that as a woman, you need to be aware what is normal and what is not, and when I need to see my healthcare provider. Then rest is for your healthcare provider to make you understand that how you need to carry on further with it.
Okay. So according to ma'am, our lifestyle, eating disorders and sleeping disorders are the main causes to create a unbalanced menstrual cycle. जैसे हम आपस में girls talk करते हैं, सब friends होते हैं, तो when we talk about periods, we talk about cravings and हमारे mood swings के बारे में, but हम अच्छे से define नहीं कर पाए आज तक कि वो exactly होता क्या है. कुछ लोग कहते हैं वो PMS होता है. तो please आप बताइए कि what is exactly PMS?
So PMS is actually called premenstrual syndrome. Now it is a series of disorders. It is not just one entity, but in general we say that in the second half of your cycle. Second half means once you have ovulated, the last 10 days of the cycle before your periods are going to start. In that period, a woman undergoes certain hormonal changes, because of which she gets some physical symptoms and some psychological symptoms. What are those physical symptoms is, you get a little breast tenderness. I mean, they become sore, not exactly painful, right? You feel bloated. You may not feel that hungry, and bloated means that you eat very little and you feel full. Okay, you start getting some irritability. You know, the typical feature would be a woman of 2 children will come and say that मुझे गुस्सा बहुत आता है, मैं बच्चों के ऊपर चिल्लाती बहुत हूँ. Okay, so this is what we say irritability that starts happening just prior to your periods, and you get a lot of mood swings. Okay, so this is exactly what we say premenstrual symptoms, but we call it a syndrome when it starts disturbing your quality of life. So every woman may not have a PMS. Okay, when we are in the very early stage and we feel that okay, little bit of mood changes are happening, we are aware of that problem, we can self-correct ourselves. I'll tell you how the measures. But when it starts disturbing our quality of life, like the children complaining that the mother is getting irritable for no reason, the husband complaining, or the woman is not able to carry on in her work, in her day-to-day life. She's so bloated, she's so much tender on the breast, she's getting so irritability that she's not able to focus on her work. That is the time when you need to connect with your doctor and understand that are there any medicines to be taken for that, or what lifestyle measures needs to be taken for that, right?
So what are the measures to be taken for PMS?
Right. So the first thing that we need to understand is 2-3 very, very important pointers are, you need to eat healthy. Nowadays the trend is towards a lot of junk eating, taking a lot of sugary foods in our diet. So if you sleep over taking a high sugar content in your diet, then definitely your sleep is going to be disturbed, right? And at the same time, we are sleeping very late night. So what happens is, there is a certain hormone called melatonin which gets produced in the middle of the night and which helps us pacify our hormones. So if we are not doing that in regular cycles, like we are not sleeping early, we are not getting up early, so our sleep disturbance leads to a hormonal disturbance. Second is the stress that we are dealing with every day. We need to understand that every physical and mental stress should not be able to overpower our body. We need to learn to handle these stresses. That is there. Third thing is, we need to quit smoking, if at all that is there in our day-to-day life, because that's another factor that aggravates all these premenstrual kind of symptoms. Okay, so eating healthy, sleeping regularly, getting rid of the stress and the anxiety factors, and quitting smoking. So these are what we say lifestyle measures, plus the very, very important thing is exercising regularly. Our life has become very sedentary. We are working whole day, whole night, but we are sitting at one place.
Yeah.
We are not doing any physical exertions. So what we say for a woman is that in a regular day-to-day life, even if you are in a healthy weight, on a healthy BMI, you need 150 minutes of moderate exercise in a week. What it means is that it hardly means a 20 to 30 minutes of a regular walk. That's it. So no woman can, in a day. So no woman can say that, I can't take out 20 minutes of walk also. I mean, that much time I don't have. Right? So if you can just take that time out, and plus spend around 10 minutes with yourself every day in the morning doing some breathing exercises. Spend the time with yourself when you're not with your family, when you're not with your maids, you're just with yourself, telling yourself that, okay, this is how the day is going to unfold for me. That's how the things are going to be better.
So मैम ने हमें अभी बताया बहुत सारी चीज़ों के बारे में, कैसे कैसे हम अपनी लाइफस्टाइल की वजह से अपने पीरियड्स को, अपने मेंस्ट्रुअल हेल्थ को खराब कर लेते हैं. So ma'am, on this point, I would like to tell you about an initiative taken by everteen. The initiative name is Period Care Adoption Program, in which we are adopting villages and distributing free sanitary pads to those needy women who don't have any access to pads. So, what are your opinions regarding the same?
Okay, that seems to be quite a wonderful and a promising program because in our country, unfortunately, in the villages, the awareness and education about using sanitary pads is really lacking. So, what I would suggest is that adopting a village is a wonderful thing. I mean, you're distributing free pads. That's also a very, very amazing, thing that you have taken up. But what is really important is that you need to come up with certain strategies how to educate these girls because see most of them rather I would say few of them are working, few are going to school, may or may not be. So they need to understand the importance to take their time out, come and attend these sessions. They probably need to be given some incentive for that, that why is it important to come and attend these sessions and why is it important to have a menstrual, a proper hygiene through using these pads. So just giving them will help, but at the same time, we need to educate them that what is the importance of it. Maybe we can tell them, that if you're not having a proper hygiene, what can go wrong, how it can affect your future reproductive life, how in today's, day-to-day life, your things would become better if you use these, life would become more practical. So this is how we can carry on further with these, no?
Let's end up with the note कि हमारा जो कैंपेन है आपके हिसाब से आपके ओपिनियन से कितना ज़्यादा सक्सेसफुल रहने वाला है underserved areas में.
See, campaigns like this is definitely the need of the hour. As I said, it's very easy to spread awareness in the urban population because we've got social media and we've got loads of other ways how we can communicate that. But what is really important is that we need to go to those underserved, underprivileged areas where communication is really difficult, and that needs a lot of efforts from organization like yours. And you're doing a wonderful job at picking up this very, very difficult subject. And I wish you all the best this goes on very well. Yeah?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for giving us your very precious time.